We'll begin the laws of Pesach from a book called Shevach HaMoadim. So, during the time that the Beis HaMikdash, the Holy Temple, was in Jerusalem, so there was a custom that the sages made that 30 days before Yom Tov, we study the laws of the Yom Tov that's coming up. So, for example, from Purim and onwards, everyone starts learning, the sages start teaching everyone the laws of Pesach. And from the 5th of Iyar and onwards, the laws of Shavuos. And from the 14th of Elul and onwards, the laws of Sukkot. Now, this custom continued even after the time of the temple. And every sage in his time would teach his students 30 days before Yom Tov the laws, so everyone should know what to do when Yom Tov comes. In our generation, that we have everything printed in books, everyone should learn, like we're doing now in this video, the laws of Yom Tov 30 days and during the 30 days before the Yom Tov comes. The reason obviously is so that when you come to Yom Tov, you're prepared and you know what to do, rather than having to go and open up a book on Yom Tov, even though of course we can do that, and we need to if we need to find out the law on Yom Tov itself, but it's always better to come prepared and to already know all the laws, come prepared for Yom Tov. Another thing is that for the 30 days before Pesach, we should be careful not to get chametz too stuck on things. Now, of course, we're allowed to clean the chametz up until the eve of Pesach, up until the end of the time of eating chametz and burning chametz. If, God forbid, someone still didn't finish cleaning the chametz even after that time, we know that there's a mitzvah during the entire Pesach to eradicate chametz. So if you find chametz during HaMoadim, you're supposed to take it out and burn it, And if it's during Yom Tov that you find chametz in your house, then you just cover it, because you can't burn it on Pesach, so you cover it with a bowl or something, and then as soon as it's HaMoadim, you burn it. So we need to eradicate chametz from that point on the eve of Pesach and onwards. But of course, that's all in the case that chametz was still found afterwards. But to begin with, we need to make sure that we clean everything and burn everything by the time that we're supposed to, by the eve of Pesach. But even more than that, what this halacha is teaching us, that during the whole 30 days that lead up to Pesach, we should be extra careful that things shouldn't get stuck, meaning already start eating in such ways, or making sure that chametz doesn't get too stuck to things, so it'll be easy to clean and easy to get rid of the chametz and easy to burn it in time on eve of Pesach. There's also a custom, a Chabad custom, not to eat matzah in the 30 days before Pesach. It's also mentioned in Igros Moshe of Rabbi Moshe Feinstein. There are others, like in Mishnah Brura, that say that from Rosh Chodesh Nissan and onwards, from the first day of Nissan and onwards, you don't eat matzah. And the very bare minimum halacha, which is brought in Ramah, is that from the morning of the eve of Pesach, from the 14th of Nissan, right in the morning, we already shouldn't eat matzah. The reason for this law is so that we should be eating matzah on the Leila Seder with the appetite, meaning the passion for the mitzvah that we're doing. So, but again, like we said, Chabad custom, and also Rabbi Moshe Feinstein in Igros Moshe mentions that even 30 days before Pesach, we don't eat any matzah. Another custom that we have during the month of Nissan is for every community to collect money that's called mois chitim. Money, literally money for wheat, which means money for matzah, to give matzah to those that don't have money to buy matzah. And if there's any money left over, we should use it to help the poor people in the community with all the rest of their needs for Pesach and not just matzah. In the most recent talks that we have from the Lubavitch Rebbe is that we should help everyone with all of their needs for Pesach, food, clothing, everything that they need. Another thing that the Lubavitch Rebbe instituted is that we should send handmade shmura matzah to everyone that we know, and also if they're like public seders, for example, in hotels, to make sure that they'll also have round handmade shmura matzah. Some other customs for the month of Nissan is that during the entire month of Nissan we don't say tachnun, so that means we don't say lamnatzeach between Asher and Uvalatzion. On Shabbos we don't say avarachamim. There's another custom that we don't fast during the entire month of Nissan. However, the firstborn are supposed to fast on the eve of Pesach, but if they make a siyum, then they don't have to fast. And a chassan and a kala, a groom and a bride, which we know they traditionally fast up until the end of their chuppah, So they fast during the entire month of Nissan, whenever their chuppah would be on the month of Nissan, even if it's on Rosh Chodesh. However, if their chuppah is on Isru Chag, the day right after Yom Tov, then they don't fast. We also have a custom to read the Nasi, which we read one of the 12 tribes every day of the first 12 days of Nissan. It's in the back of the Siddur. It's the reading that we read from the Torah on Hanukkah. But on the days of Nissan, the first 12 days of Nissan, we just read it from a Siddur, everyone individually, when he finishes davening. And we read about each tribe, what they brought. And at the end of the reading, we also read a Yehi ratzon, where we say, if my soul is from this and this tribe, may I receive all of the spiritual lights of this tribe, etc. We know that even if somebody knows that he's not from that tribe, like for example, if he's a leivi, or a kohein, which means he's from the tribe of Levi, we still say that, and the reason is explained by the Rebbe in HaYom Yom, that it has to do with a concept in Kabbalah called Ibur, meaning that your soul is impregnated with other souls from other tribes, because really we're all one, all Am Yisrael, we're all one, and we're included from one another, meaning our soul can have parts or components of other souls from other tribes as well. So we all say it every day for the first 12 days. And on the 13th day of Nissan, we read another portion without a Yehi ratzon called Zois Chanukas HaMizbeach. All of that in the back of the Siddur. After we say the Nasi, like we said, we say the Yehi ratzon.